Hey everyone, so welcome to my Math 240 video series called the Plug and Chug series, where I essentially pick out problems from the 240 syllabus and I do them for you guys so you guys have some kind of example to help you in your 240 class. And what is the purpose of this series? Well, it is to essentially more or less help with homework problems. That was the main idea. But you'll see in the sources of each of the videos that I have homework problems, I have some problems from like previous exams, and then I also have a lot of book problems that I do. And yeah, so essentially it's to give you guys examples to follow to apply to whatever you have to do on homeworks and to a lesser extent exams, but you can use these to study for exams as well. And why am I doing this? Well, if you guys are familiar at all with the math department at Penn, they kind of don't like they just avoid doing examples and lectures for some reason, and this puts like a much larger toll on the TAs to teach the class or show the class examples. And yeah, so I just compiled then from last semester a bunch of examples that I had done and put them in video form and voiced over them to help you guys then do your homeworks more or less. And so I'm going to add a disclaimer then. Why add a disclaimer before you guys start the series, which is I can't predict what your professors are going to do in your class. And Math 240 is a more volatile class in terms of what is taught like semester to semester. And this is because there are two parts to Math 240, right? There's the linear algebra part at the beginning, and then there's the differential equations part, which is the second half of the class. And some professors just prefer one over the other. And this is because some professors, if they're algebraists, they might enjoy the linear algebra part more. And some professors who work on differential equations will obviously emphasize the differential equations part of the class. So what I have as examples may not be at all exactly what you guys covered in class. For example, I skipped some of chapter 6 with the I think it's the kernel and image and range stuff, which someone who enjoys algebra more might emphasize that part of Math 240 a little more. But again, I can't predict everything. I have done some of the optional sections, as you'll notice, and those are the ones that I have realized that are covered more semester by semester. So give that for what it is. So the plug and check series again is going to be a very full skeleton, not just a rough outline. I feel like with 50 or so odd questions, probably more than 50 examples that you guys will see, this will cover a lot of 240 questions that you guys will see. So hopefully it'll be a helpful resource. One other thing that I want to say is that you guys shouldn't expect any kind of what I'm trying to say theory in these problems. So you'll notice one thing is that there are no true-false problems, which show up a lot in 240. I would say true-false on exams will probably end up being worth somewhere around like 20 to 30% of your grade. So you really do need to know the theory behind linear algebra and differential equations. A lot of professors will emphasize the theory in, let's say, eigenvalues and eigenvectors, and also vector spaces, which is also a very abstract concept. And again, I'm not going to cover a lot of the theory besides very basic theory that you need to do like vector space problems and maybe eigenvalue, eigenvector problems. I'm not sure how deep I went into those. But anyways, the point is you need to be able to understand a theory yourself. And in each section where I do like these problems, I am assuming you guys know the theory already. So again, this is the plug and chug series. You're literally plugging numbers into formulas, equations, like step by steps that you follow, and you're chugging out then the correct result to your homework problems. And okay, so another question that I'm going to answer here, and you guys can like just move on to the problems if that's what you guys are interested in. A lot of questions that people are asking. All right, am I ready for Math 240? Right, and this more or less comes from high school students coming into Penn for the first semester. And I would say if you're comfortable with multivariable calculus and you got through multivariable calculus, that's like the more important thing. you'll be fine in Math 240 because Math 240 uses very little of methods from past classes. The most you'll be doing is like taking integrals, and integrals and factoring are like the two things. Like, yeah, you need to know how to like factor polynomials. Like, if you've taken like any sort of calculus, like you guys are probably comfortable with that. So you need to be comfortable with the integrals. You need to be comfortable with factoring. You know, the integrals don't get too bad. At worst, you'll have to do integration by parts. Although I think I do an example where you have to use like partial fractions, but then I say in the video that you don't need to know partial fractions. So again, it will vary semester by semester, but most likely you guys will only need to know integration by parts is like the most difficult concept you'll need to know. You need to know none of multivariable calculus, almost none. If you know how to take a cross product, then you essentially know how to take a determinant of a matrix. That'll like give you a leg up, but it's not very like it won't help you guys that much. So don't worry if you haven't taken multivariable calculus and for some reason you're taking 240. You'll be fine. The difficult part of 240 then is thinking abstractly. So all of your calc classes that you will have had up to Math 240 will have not been as abstract as Math 240 will be. And the reason is because vector spaces, eigenvalues, eigenvectors, and to a lesser extent differential equations have a very important abstract component that will be tested in the class. Like I said, 20 to 30% will be like true-false problems, and that all tests like abstract concepts, definitions that you guys will know. So it'll be less, in a sense, like a Calc BC where you have to like memorize your like sequence or series convergences. Here it'll be a little more dealing with definitions, dealing with mini proofs. You might not see a proof at all, but again, you need to know your definitions and the abstract concepts in this class. Okay, so that's it for Am I Ready for 240? And finally, why am I personally making this video? So a little bit about myself. This is the summer before my senior year, so if you're watching this later on, I'm probably out of Penn. Like, I'm gone from Penn. So I will be, hopefully I'll be TAing this class spring of 2019. And if I'm not TAing this class spring of 2019, well, I'll still be on campus at that time. So I'm a rising senior as of fall 2018, and I've been a TA for 4 semesters previously. So I started sophomore fall, and I've TA'd Math 240 only once, but I really enjoy TAing it, and as a try-hard TA, as my friends like to rib me for, I just did this because, I'm doing research on campus. I got nothing else to do with my time. It sounds sad, but I enjoy doing this. So yeah, and if you have found these videos, then you probably have found my website, or some person has linked you to my website, where there's a lot of material on my website that you guys can go through, including the recitations from spring 2018, all my like practice quizzes from spring 2018, and I also have written up a lot of the 240 previous exam solutions. Not previous exam, previous final solutions. They're all on my website, and if you don't know what my website is, it's linked in the description on this video and every other video in this 240 plug and check series. So again, just hit up my website. It'll give you some important things. Another question that I will get often, and if you're on campus in the 2018-2019 school year, then lucky you, I'm on campus too. And so people will ask me, can I come to your office hours even though I'm not in your class? And yeah, of course. My office hours are open to anyone that wants to come. Even if I'm TAing 114 in the fall of 2018, like you can show up to my office hours. Like they're posted on my website for a reason. So you can show up. Just you don't have to let me know if you're going to show up ahead of time. You can just show up. That's fine. Although I'll probably be like, oh, you're a 240 kid. I'll know a little bit about 240 in the fall, so especially since I'm planning to TA it in the spring. Okay, so yeah, hopefully this video, again, just to cover up everything, we went through the purpose of my plug and check series, which will start with the next video in the playlist. Talked about if you're ready for 240 or not, and then explained a little bit about myself. And yeah, so hopefully now you have a face to put to the voice in the videos. Maybe that gives you some sense of comfort. I don't know if it does. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the Plug and Chug series. And yeah, spread it amongst your friends, please, if you find it helpful, especially when I leave Penn. I've spent a good deal of my summer recording these videos, and so I don't want these just to go to waste after you guys freshmen in the 2018-2019 year leave. So let your friends know about this series after taking 240. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and good luck with Math 240. Hopefully you enjoy the class. I did very much TAing it. And yeah, that's all I have.